Well, right now we're talking with Bobby Service with Southern Sash here, who's one of the partners out at the Waters housing development here. And Bobby, y'all have one of the top energy efficient weather windows in our area. And so let's talk about a little bit about what to look for when you're looking for an energy efficient window. Okay.
Well, the Weather Shield line here is our top of the line. It's aluminum clad. It's generally designed around a wood window, and in construction and insulation, everybody knows that wood is your best insulator. This is generally around a wood window, but it's got a completely aluminum clad, maintenance free. It's got 1-inch insulated glass. You have different versions of glass in there, which you can upgrade from insulated, clear insulated, to low E with argon, low E with argon krypton, and then special coating low E's, such as a new one that's Weather Shield's got out. It's called Zoe Shield.
Somebody who's watching you here for the first time has just heard you use the term low E. Define that for us, and what is low E?
Okay, low E is basically low emissivity glass. It mainly was designed not so much as far as energy efficiency, but to slow down the fading rays or the damaging rays of the sun that fade out your hardwoods and fabrics. But in lieu of doing that, it also kept the house a little bit cooler in the summer months. It does nothing for nighttime insulation, and that's where argon kind of come into play. Argon,
let's talk about, you talk about argon, which is a particular gas that's in between the double panes.
Yeah.
What are the advantages of having the gas in the...
All right, the argon is basically a nighttime insulator, and it's mainly designed for up north areas or real cold climates. And what they say is there's no actual testing that you can actually test for the argon gas. It's not a very expensive add, and they say after the first year or two it seeps out anyways and dissipates. So, but we're not a real big fan of the argon. But the low E is, if you have a big wall of glass, low E is a highly recommended option for our consumers to use on their houses.
Well, for those of us who live right here in central Alabama, and where we got a lot of the heat, this is a great window for this
Absolutely.
area. Now, if I'm interested in this window, where do I get it? How do I get it?
Contact Southern Sash. Contact me, or we've got two other folks, Warner Mathis and Mike McDonald, and bring in your house plans, or we do window replacements. And we kind of work through the customer from the very beginning to the ending, and there's we have a full line of window and door products. Weather Shield being our main premium line, but we have some others that fit the bill as well in certain applications that we're able to get the same kind of glass that we're able to get in the Weather Shield, but in a different design product. When you're looking at windows, this is what you want to look for. Is you want to basically a cross section of the window. It shows you exactly what the window's made of. As you see here, this Weather Shield, you've got this thick aluminum cladding which is not going to dent very easily. It's going to take a mighty blow to put a dent in that. It's not going to heat up very quick.
Let me ask you this, Bob. You talk about it doesn't dent. You know, we have a lot of nasty hailstorms in this part of Alabama. How does that hold up?
This holds up a lot better. This is thicker than like your roof of your car or your hood of your vehicle. It takes a pretty good blow, and the reason Weather Shield does such a thick extrusion is you have different versions of cladding. You have some that are like maybe a thickness of a Coke can wrapped around a piece of wood. The problem with that is that one, the paints on it fade out a lot quicker. And with Weather Shield, they say, well, we're just going to go ahead and do a true extrusion where this is basically milled already, and they fit it all together. So by having this thick cladding, it also doesn't heat up as quick as a thin piece of metal would. It does get some heat, but you have this wood filler here to help deaden that heat or that cold air on this unit. So the wood is nature's best insulation. Yep.
You've got the aluminum frame that it's in. You've got the double pane glass here, which is low E, which is great for making sure that the sunlight that comes through doesn't
the harmful rays of the sun
fade your furniture, woods, and your fabrics.
Now you got to be careful that it's not going to. It slows the process. It doesn't eliminate it, but it slows the process.
Okay.
You know, there's ways around that, but you can do gray tinted glass. bronze tinted glass. There's really the only way to truly relieve all the sunlight is to basically shade the whole window. But there's a lot of misconception with the low E glass, and people think it stops it completely, but it doesn't. It just slows it down.
Well, while we've got this cutaway out, is there one last thing you'd like to say about the quality of this particular window?
No, usually when we recommend that when you look at when you're buying windows for your home, that you want to see a cross section of it just to see what it's made of, see what you're spending your money on, because this is what you drive up. When you see that, when people drive up to your house, is the first thing they see, and this is where all your heating and cooling goes in and out of your building. So we like to think windows are the first thing going in construction, but it's the last thing that they're thought about. Well, I should have done this, and it's the hardest thing to do when you go back to replace them. So we like to look at it at Southern Sash is when we sell you our windows that we distribute, that it's a representation of Southern Sash. So we take the extra time and need to make sure we educate our consumers that they know what they're getting, and that way they make the best decision for their projects.